Alright guys, it is Saturday morning. It is our last day here for the Rally in Laconia, and it's windy. Man, is it breezy? I'm hoping it's not messing with the microphone right now. But it's okay. I got one customer in. He showed up about 8:30, about half an hour before we opened up. I was still doing my emails and trying to answer a bunch of comments on YouTube. By the way, it looks like everybody really enjoyed my little rant on the people complaining about our dog laying on the concrete. Seems like there's a lot of people that completely understand. Got a few other vendors this morning that still haven't opened up, but for the most part, looks like a beautiful day. So today will be somewhat of a long day for us. With the weather being super nice, we're hoping that this will be a very, very busy day. And then, when it's all said and done, we gotta pack this all up and put it away. Now I was looking back at my sales from last year, and even with the 100th anniversary, it wasn't a good day. And if I'm not mistaken, it was raining all day long, which makes sense. I vaguely remember us packing up in the rain last year, and it wasn't pleasant. In fact, it was one of the only days that our 2022 sales had actually exceeded the 100th anniversary sales. So if we get one or the other today, I'm happy. But I'm really hoping we'll do those 22 sales. I'll be even happier. Somebody left a comment saying that I should make shirts, that would be cool. Well, we got a whole line of them here. If you want them, come in and get them. Alright guys, so to follow up with the gauge install, the only thing that was left was to actually mount the probe in the exhaust. Now, I'm a big proponent of putting the exhaust probe in the actual exhaust manifold and not in the downpipe past turbo, because you get more accurate readings the closer it is to the engine. You'll get higher readings, but they're more accurate than post turbo. So typically when you put a probe in the exhaust manifold, you want to keep that 1300 degree threshold, stay below it as much as you can, minimize time above 1300 degrees. And I guess post turbo, the rule is like 800 degrees. Now, just going by what I read on the internet, I have never installed a probe post turbo before. I always do it in the exhaust manifold. So the problem with putting it in the exhaust manifold on this application is that the turbo kind of sits down below the exhaust manifold. And if I were to just drill and tap the manifold, all the metal shavings would fall into the turbo exhaust housing, which is not a good thing. So I had the brilliant idea of just loosening the turbo up and getting a gap there, and then sliding a piece of cardboard down so that any of the shavings will hit the cardboard and fall out through the bottom of the opening. And then I can get in there with a magnet and fish out the last little bit. But then I ran into a problem. So I've got it all loose and open. You can see I've got the gap there with the flashlight underneath. You can clearly see that I can see all the way through to the bottom. And that's what I remembered, that my exhaust manifold is split. The first 3 cylinders come into the front part, the rear 3 cylinders come into the rear part, and then where they join in that collector, there's a divider in there, right straight down the middle. So I can only drill into one or the other, and ideally I'd like the collective of them instead of just registering the temperature from one bank, right? So now I think I'm gonna have no choice but to bolt this back together and try a different alternative. Ideally this would have worked great. I'm not actually removing the turbo. I didn't disconnect any turbo lines. I didn't even take out any of my intake tubing. All I did was loosen the exhaust clamp and the 4 bolts that held the turbo to the engine, got in there with a pry bar and got my gap. This would have worked perfect if it wasn't a split manifold. All right, so the kit does come with some options. It's got a weld-in bung that I can put into the exhaust pipe, and then I can thread the probe into it. Problem with that is I don't have a welder here right now that I have access to. The other option is they have this clamp system with a spacer that you can clamp around the pipe, and then it holds the sensor in. But the problem there is 2.5-inch clamp. Well, we got a 5-inch pipe, so that doesn't work either. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So for now, I'm just going to bolt this turbo back on. Ideally, this section of pipe here would work really well if one of these would work. So I've got this little short section that goes between the turbo and the exhaust brake, and I can, move that and wiggle it around. So if I wanted to put the probe on the backside out of the way, I could actually drill it here and then rotate it around and install the probe in the back and make things nice and easy. So maybe I'm just gonna have to wait, hit a Napa or something, and see if they've got a big enough clamp. I'll have to drill a hole in it. This clamp comes with a hole specific, I don't know if you can see it in there, for that little spacer to go into. So I'll probably have to drill my own hole in it, but that's not a big deal. And that'll work, at least until I find a place to weld this. We'll just have to see. But for right now, we're at a stopping point. All right, so it is all back together and drivable. Maybe we'll find a mobile welder someplace that can help us out with that. But for now, I gotta get cleaned up. I'm just like covered with grease. Guys are handling the businesses coming in right now. Got 2 bikes up on the lift. One just pulled into line. Oop, and one is going down right now. Well guys, the good news is it is only 11 a.m. and we've already beat our sales from last year. Like I said, last year wasn't an impressive day. I think it was mostly a rain day. So now the challenge is on to beat our sales from 2 years ago in 2022. Hopefully we do that. It is still really windy. I know that's probably gonna make a bunch of noise in the microphone, and I apologize. It's beautiful out, it's just windy. Guys, this wind is atrocious. I was just over talking to Steel Commander, and I was going to do a little feature on them, but the wind is just so bad. Audio is terrible. If I end up putting a bunch of music over today's video, you'll know why. this customer brought in a Pan America for us to do a 1,000-mile service on it. And I still think these bikes are pretty cool. If you remember last year, I did the demo ride on one and I really enjoyed it. A couple modifications he made is he cut his exhaust pipe down. You can kind of see the weld there, but he did a halfway decent job at it. But normally they came all the way out to here. And relocating his bracket, he actually did that with a couple of box end wrenches welded together. It's actually pretty cool. You know, I know a Pan America is definitely not in my budget right now, especially because I want to build a performance bagger. But sadly, I think a Pan America would do the job every bit as good. I don't know. Which one do you think I should buy? Leave a comment down below. All right, guys, about 20 minutes after 1 and still staying somewhat steady. See, there are 2 bikes up on the lift. We still got the Pan America for a 1,000-mile service. I just loaded the Road Glide after I took these 2 Road Glides off, and we still got 2 in line. We got a Street Glide over there and the stretched out Hayabusa, all waiting in line still. Guys, on the Hayabusas, we have to pull off this entire side cover because the filter is right down there. Now, in most cases, we can reach through one of the holes in the side, but because this customer has all these grills in there, it stops us having access with our hands into some of those areas. Right here down. getting ready to pull the street glide down. We still got 3 more in line and a customer walking to go get another one. It's turning out to be a pretty darn good day. Alright guys, it is about 10 minutes until 4 right now, and we just got done with 2 bikes. We still got 2 up on the lifts, but you can tell it's starting to slow down. The tone is changing. There's still a lot of bikes here, but the business itself is slowing down. So we're going to start doing the little minor things to pack up, put away the products that we're not likely going to sell in the next 2 hours, and just start cleaning things up. Maybe pull the Let's Roll lounge down, pull the flags down, some of the extra signs, put the signs away, stuff like that, so that we're not here till 10, 11 o'clock tonight.
So we have one.
Alright, so I think now I'm going to start taking down the Let's Roll lounge. There have been people sitting here in it all day long, and I didn't want to be like, hey, get out.
Get out.
So, yeah, I've just been kind of waiting patiently, and right now there's an opportunity where there's nobody here. So, taking it all down, getting it all packed away, we'll move on to something else. Alright, with the Let's Roll tent put away, I'm moving the battery. So, move the load judge case out of the way, pull out all the empty boxes. I keep them when I unpack them because I don't know how many I'm going to sell, and that way I can put them back in their boxes. And if I got empty boxes left over at the end of the show, then those go in the trash. Now we sold all of our 30 LBSs and more than half of our 20 LBSs in the AGMs. Now I still have regular 20 BSs. I got plenty of those, and I got plenty of lithiums. So I'm going to pack these up, put them away. All right, so there we go. All of the batteries packed away in their boxes. Even the shelves for the battery racks go in there. We had one empty box left over, this garbage. And now with that extra space up on top there, I'll actually take some of the chairs from the Let's Roll lounge, and I can fit 5 or 6 of them in there. And I do that because we tend to run a little light on the front axle, a little heavy on the rear, a little heavy on the trailer. So this way I don't have to pack that stuff into the trailer. I move it up here to this box, shift some of the weight forward, just balances everything out better. All right guys, 5:15. The girls have got most of the showroom packed up. I took care of the batteries in the Let's Roll lounge and some of the pole covers and whatnot. The guys got the service area mostly straightened up, cleaning up, organizing tools, get everything clean. Talons disassembling the trike lift assemblies. So in a little bit longer, we'll be able to start loading everything into the trailer. I said it's only about 5:15 now. We're supposed to still be open till 6, and we are. We're open, we're functional. We've just put a lot of stuff away that we don't really need. But I do think I'm going to take the initiative and shut my bike off. There's not enough people here walking around still to kind of justify it. I'm tired of hearing it run today. You see Sounds is packing up their stuff as well. Looks like All About Customs is doing a little bit of packing up. Looks like the Rick Rat guys are starting to do some of their packing up. And the other people that were there, they're gone. You know, I talked to them earlier about giving them a promotional. They sell metal buildings, which I thought was really cool. And just so happens I'm in the market for one, so I was interested. But they're actually the manufacturer, which is kind of cool. But they weren't sure what to say right then. They wanted a little bit of time to think about it. So I said, sure, let me know when you're ready. And we got busy with stuff, and I look over there and they're gone. Hi guys, 10 minutes after 6 p.m. We're officially closed now. And you see the showroom is pretty much packed up. All those boxes there are just empty boxes. Got Katie's toolbox there with the register system on it. Once she packs up the register, the toolbox to get moved back here to go into the trailer. Talon and Amanda are up on the lift, loading the loft right now with the first load. Then the lift will come back down. We'll load the motorcycle lifts onto the car lift and all the other stuff. Be pretty close to being done pretty soon. Hi guys, 40 minutes after 6. All that's left out here is the toolbox and the sink and the Let's Roll canopy, which will go in afterwards. And then we'll start pulling canopies and flags. Almost done. Hi guys, about 7 p.m. and it's time to start pulling awnings. Everything else pretty much put away. Got a little bit more organized to do in the trailer. See, Sounds is pretty much torn down. And well, looks like they're about the only ones that are completely torn down. No, looks like Psycho Solutions is pretty close to it as well. So we're gonna get this done. All right, about 20 minutes later, awnings are put away. You know, when I'm up here, I go through a checklist. I know that all the awnings are put away and the awning cases are closed. Got the one in the front of the trailer and the one right here. They're basically just truck style toolboxes that I mounted up high. So we won't have to carry those awnings up and down. You know, strap all the metal up here for this awning. The metal for the trailer awning goes in the trailer. Everything's strapped down and secure. I flip the gangway back over, secure it with pins, make sure it's all locked into place. And I do one last double check. All looks good. Hi guys, 20 minutes after 8 and Amanda's already left. Chip is over there doing whatever it is that Chip is doing. Katie, Talon, and I decided we're gonna go out and get some pizza right up the road at, I think it's called Brookstone. It's a pretty good pizza place. So we're gonna head up there, get something to eat. Got my heroic hoodie on because it is a little bit chilly out. Check it out, the Kawasaki KZ1000 police bike, guys. This is really, really cool. Really cool. Anybody want to go watch an episode of Chip's Patrol right about now? Pretty cool little truck as well. Hi guys, and these bikes over here look familiar. It looks like the Rick Rat crew beat us here, so they're probably already inside.
All right, so not just the Rick Rack crew, but Todd from Baroque is here. Chromeworks guys are here also. And it's karaoke night.
All right, guys, we made it back to Goliath, and after a wonderful dinner, a little bit of a chilly ride home, we actually have another pizza we brought home with us. We ordered 2 pizzas, we only ate 1, so we've got the road snacks for the next couple of days, or lunch or whatever. But I think we're going to end this one here. I also want to wish you guys a happy Father's Day. Today is not Father's Day, but when you watch this, it will be. Happy Father's Day to all of you out there. You know, all in all, the rally turned out to be pretty good. We did not meet the sales from last year, but we were a lot more close to it than I thought we were going to be. And we did exceed our sales for 2022. So I'm very happy about that. So earlier in the week, I mentioned how we just weren't sure if we were going to be coming back here. And as of right now, we're up. As long as I see the growth, we're coming back. So for right now, 2025 is on the schedule. There's not a problem with that. But guys, I will say this, we met a lot of people here, which was great. And a lot of you brought me motorcycles to service, which was great. We appreciate the support. But there was a large amount of you actually that stopped by to say hi, and during the conversation would be like, oh, well, I just had my bike serviced. Well, guys, think about this. We do the service at a much lower rate than your dealership does. And most times a better rate than your local shop does. We're using a better product in most cases than most of the local shops do, or even your dealership. And you get faster service. You don't have to drop it off and come get it in 3 days or whatever. If you want to save money and you want a good quality product and you want to be treated like family, guys, just plan on next year or whatever rally we're going to be at. Just bring it to us. We'll take care of you. I also want to let you guys know that last night we did go down to the Weirs Beach area, and I filmed quite a bit down there. I uploaded that video already, and it was unsuitable for advertisers, go figure. There were some dancers over at the chop shop, and that's probably why. So that video will come out on Patreon sometime in the near future. And also remember that on Monday, the Magic Mike show from the Beaver Bar will come out. It's a good time. You guys might be interested in seeing it. Hope you guys enjoyed the footage from the rally. The next couple of days we're going to ride, and we'll probably still bring you some footage there. So I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next time we see you,
Keep those engines running.
If you want a handsome delivery boy, I got you covered over here.